Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the WaspCast. In this week of the podcast, we will break down last week's matchups and um, look forward to the next week of matchups. We'll also be doing weekly predictions and covering everything Chiefs related. My name's Cameron. I'm here with co-host Kane and Noah.
Yo,
What's going on?
happy Red Friday to all
Yes,
the Chiefs
sir.
fans out there
Yes, sir.
and the occasional Chiefs haters, but
Mm-hmm.
we
Who
ignore
cares?
those.
Yeah. Um, So we're just gonna get going. So on the topic of this week's upcoming games and the kickoff week of NFL, what was your guys' opinion last night on the game?
Well, I'll start. I was the only one of us to expect the Bills to win, and it was not close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I picked the Rams. I didn't think that the reigning Super Bowl champs were going to come out and lose that badly at home. First game of the season, I expected it to be one of the best games of the season, and it really disappointed. I mean, the Rams just looked bad. The Bills played good. They had a good game, but the number one takeaway for me of that game was just how bad the Rams looked. I
I
mean,
agree with that.
sloppy. First half especially was very sloppy for both teams. Second half, the Bills got their act together and smoked them, but just a sloppy game.
I agree, and like you could really tell the difference it made without OBJ and Von Miller on that team. I mean, Aaron Donald is not doing what he normally does. Um, Cooper Cup was definitely missing OBJ because he was not getting as open. You could definitely tell. Um, I
He
just
still got like I think it was like 125 yards or something.
yeah, he still did good,
He made an
but
impact, but it wasn't enough.
yeah,
I thought that coming into the game, well, all off season, the Bills hurt nothing but 13 seconds, and they hurt nothing but coin toss. They were coming
hmm
into this game pissed off, and I did not think there was any way they were losing. And I think that's what you watched last night. A pissed off Buffalo Bills football team.
Really, the difference in that game to me was the quarterbacks. I mean, and the O line, I guess, for the Rams. They gave up 7 sacks, I think it was. But
there's that.
How
Yeah,
about sorry?
but I
Matt
mean,
Stafford just wasn't able to get the ball out. His wide receivers weren't getting open. But on
look
the
at those
Bills side of
turnovers,
things,
bro.
How
yeah,
how about
on the Bills side of things, hang on. The Rams were getting just as much pressure on Josh Allen, but he constantly was able to get the ball out. He got the ball out in under 2 seconds so many times, and that was the difference of the game.
how about that upgraded Bills defense? I mean,
Yeah,
Oh, their
you could
defense is
tell a
scary.
difference,
that
man.
that addition of Von Miller.
Von Miller
Uh,
had 2 sacks last night.
Von Miller had 2 sacks, but you might as well give him like 4 because of his presence. The rest of that D line was having a hate game with Matthew
Yeah,
Stafford.
I really didn't think Von Miller was going to have that great of a
I didn't
year
either, man.
or a game because he's getting old, but
It's
yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Mr. It's the triangle.
it's the weird triangle on the back of his head. Yeah, that's right.
It gave him the power.
I
But
mean, yeah,
He had a
man. You look
phenomenal
at the
game.
turnovers on both those teams. The Rams had plenty of opportunities. They had 3 turnovers in the first half, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. But like, if the Bills did not have 3 turnovers in that first half, this game could have been insanely not close. Or if the Rams would have capitalized on offense, it could have been a really good game, which is what everyone expected it to be. But they just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, 3 turnovers in the first half and only scoring 10 points is unacceptable.
And Matthew Stafford also
That was
had a
rough.
lot of interceptions, which is what happened last year as well. Clearly, that
Noah,
didn't
by the way,
improve.
change the title of the stream real quick, please.
did I not?
No, it still says test.
episode 1 airs.
So, you
Well,
guys want to look at
since we already admitted our mistakes, what should the channel be?
Just like episode 1 or something.
Episode 1, East versus Cardinals.
Alright, now that we talked about the Rams Bills, let's move on to the predictions for the rest of the week.
Yep.
So let me pull this up real quick.
Predictions for the rest of the week.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I should have the schedule on my screen now. So Sunday at noon we have Browns, Carolina, Baker Mayfield versus I don't even know the Browns QB. Who is it? Who's their backup
I
QB?
think it's Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett, the backup legend. For a backup, he's actually pretty good.
He
Who do
is
you
a
got?
decent backup. I have Panthers.
I
think.
have.
Go ahead.
Sorry, to cut you off.
You're good.
I have the Browns. I don't think
I can get that.
I don't think the quarterback play is that much worse than whoever Carolina is like out there, Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker Mayfield is an
Sam
improvement.
Darnold's hurt now, so.
He is an improvement from Jacoby Brissett, but I don't think that
He's that much of an improvement.
is that. Yeah, I think it
Gotcha.
really comes down to the running back play. Honestly.
So, I can totally see that. Myles Garrett's definitely going to play a factor in that. That Browns defense isn't terrible, but they're also not the greatest. When it comes to the Panthers, I think from what I've seen, also it's little bits and pieces, but from what I've seen, Baker Mayfield looks pretty decent right now. I've seen him connecting with a lot of his receivers, and if Christian McCaffrey plays and stays healthy, I think that he can make an impact for that team like he always has when he's healthy.
I agree with that. I think there is absolutely no way, no chance that a pissed off Baker Mayfield goes to Cleveland. Actually, it's in Carolina, but still. Loses to Cleveland against a backup QB after everything that's gone on.
And
I mean,
you got to remember the Kareem Hunt, him requesting a trade. It kind of makes you wonder how much are the Browns going to use him.
I mean, Baker Mayfield got traded for somebody they knew was most not likely not going to play at least half of the season.
Yeah.
And they still went through for the trade with him. So I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a Oklahoma versus KU type game. Hopefully without the crotch grab, but, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Know anything else?
No, it's not it.
Pittsburgh Steelers at Cincinnati Bengals.
I will start this one off right away. This will not be close. The Bengals will dominate. It will not be close. Sorry, Steelers fans. Yelpers and a Yelper. That's all.
I have 2 words to say about this matchup. Mitchell Trubisky. That's it. That's all I need to say.
Way.
No, that's a bad thing. Bengals are winning.
I thought you were
by-
saying okay. Whew.
by a 14 plus. I say final score 37-10.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna be different. I think the
No
Bengals
shot.
win. I think the
Oh,
Bengals
okay.
win, but I do not think it's going to be a blowout at all. I think that Steelers defense is going to shock everyone. Not even shock, because we know they've been good. But I think they're going to play their hearts out, and I think the Bengals are going to have a little bit of
Wait, yeah, no way. Oh,
I think they're going to have a little bit of,
Nothing.
flashbacks from the Super Bowl. And I think that I think that it's not going to be as a blowout as much people think, because I mean, hey man, after losing the Super Bowl like that, that's tough. We'll see if they moved on from it, but I think they'll be a little rattled.
I mean, that is sort of a good point. The Steelers and Bengals always play each other really close. They have very competitive games, a giant rivalry. So I'm really excited to see how this game plays out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Next.
so that was. Sorry, I don't have it on my screen.
You're good.
Pittsburgh
Steelers
and
at Bengals.
Steelers. I'm writing all of these down for everybody who can't see what I'm doing. Steelers versus Bengals. Um, King, you hate.
We all had Bengals.
I thought King
Yeah.
said Mitchell Trubisky.
No,
Oh,
Bengals.
okay.
Bengals.
Okay.
I forgot I was sharing my screen, Rosebud. My bad.
All three Bengals. Next game is what? Game?
Colts at Texans. Not gonna be close. Colts all the way. I don't think
I
it'll be very
highly
high
disagree.
scoring because I just don't think the Colts are a team that can put up a lot of points. So I got 21 to 13.
I highly disagree with everything you said, respectfully. Let me get into why. So, the Colts. The Colts are gonna Colts. The Colts, I think the last 7 or just openers they've lost. I think they're gonna do it again. I think they're gonna not be used to Matt Ryan. I think it's gonna take a bit to get used to. Jonathan Taylor's gonna Jonathan Taylor, put that team on his back. I think Michael Pittman will have a good game, but the Texans, I'm gonna say this. I think they've looked pretty good. I think they went undefeated in the preseason. While that is the preseason, I think that their defense is going to be pretty good. I think Davis Mills and Brandon Cooks are going to have some good connections. Um, yeah, man, I think it's gonna. They have Stingley. I think it's gonna go good, man, for the Texans. I'm
They
going
did
Texans.
have a pretty solid draft.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're going
I gotta go
Texans?
Texans.
Sorry, Hammond, what was the score that you said?
I'm gonna say 24-17 Texans.
Who is the Texans QB? Is it still
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills? He's
He's
honestly
good, man.
underrated. He's pretty
He
solid.
okay. He's not like anything special, but he's above average, I'd say. But he plays on the Texans. He had no one.
And what was the score that you said?
21 to 13, I think.
Oh, we already got it correctly and you win it. Okay. My turn. I am going to go 30 to 15 in Indianapolis. I think, I honestly don't know that much about the Texans, but I do know that Jonathan Taylor is him. And
Yep.
not that they have any, real big names wide receiver wise outside of maybe like, T.Y. Hilton. But,
T.Y. Hilton's not even on the team anymore.
oh, well, then screw everything I just
Michael
said.
Pittman Jr.
That's what I was thinking of. Anywho.
T.Y. Hilton's done nothing the last few years anyway.
He is a
Anywho,
free agent now. I don't think anyone will sign him.
Matt Ryan is. I don't think he's anything spectacular. He's obviously in my opinion, a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he's. I don't think he's a
Got
top
the juice
8.
anymore.
I don't think he's a top 8 quarterback currently.
I don't think he's top 15, but I do think he's a slight
disagree with
upgrade
that.
He is
to
a slight.
Carson Wentz.
He's a slight
Now you
upgrade to
see,
Carson Wentz.
while I said the Texans will win, I do think the Colts are gonna have a good year, and I think they'll make the playoffs. I
I-
just don't
As
think.
long as
I
they
just
don't
think
lose
it'll
to
be
the
a rocky.
Jaguars week 17.
I
Yeah,
think
I just think it'll be a rocky start for them.
I think it'll be a slow start to the game. Granted, it's a new quarterback and a new offense for Matt Ryan. However, I think Jonathan Taylor pulls them out in the end.
Although I did hear that Matt Ryan did not throw an interception the whole entire training camp.
Oh,
He's got that ice.
I'm
I
sure
know.
Patrick Mahomes didn't either.
I wish that was true, but
Next game, what is it?
Ravens at New York Jets.
this one's gonna be fun.
It is.
Noah, would you like to start us off?
I will start us off. I will go Ravens, but not by much. I will say Ravens win. It'll be a low scoring football game. It'll be 17-10 Ravens.
Cameron?
Um, this one I'm really conflicted with, man. The Ravens are a really good team, and I mean, if you paid any attention to the Jets draft, they had a really good draft, man. And I mean, I really think that the Jets could be decent this year. I don't think they'll be playoff worthy yet, but I think they can be a decent, like, close to 500 team that can get things done. I mean,
I would agree with that, personally.
you have Joe Flacco at quarterback for at least the first 3 weeks, while
What
Zach
happened to...
He's recovering from a knee injury.
Here's a sport. Here's a at this point in their careers, a upgrade from what's his face, in my opinion.
Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson, yes.
See, I don't completely agree with that.
I
just
think
Yeah,
think
me
Zach,
neither.
I think
still
Zach,
developing.
Zach
But
Joe Flacco's
I say at this
a
point in
million
their,
years old.
I say
Fair
at this
enough.
point in their careers, Zach Wilson is developing and he will be, in my opinion, a lot
Zach
better.
Wilson's the GOAT.
But at this current
Yeah.
moment, I would prefer, just for right now, like for this year only, I would prefer Joe Flacco as my quarterback over than
Yeah,
Zach
man.
Wilson.
I mean, the Jets got Sauce Gardner, didn't they?
Mhm.
They did. They did. And he didn't even get targeted this preseason, actually, after not giving up any touchdowns in college. Um Obviously I think that'll eventually change, but from what we've seen, he looks pretty good. I do like the addition of Brees Hall to that running back core with Michael Carter. I think eventually Brees Hall will get a majority of the carries, but I think they'll definitely start off with Michael Carter first. And there's no way I don't see Joe Flacco losing to his old team, man. I'm going Jets 21-14.
Ow. That's a bold statement.
I know, man.
I agree with a lot that you said, but I think the Ravens are gonna win. But I think the Jets are gonna shock a lot of people and make this a very close game.
I won't be
They
mad
they
if
they
I
had
get
a
that one.
they had a phenomenal draft this year. A lot of bright players. I think they make the playoffs within a year or two from now.
Yep.
They're trending in the right direction, but that being said, the Ravens are just a really scary team for me this year.
Yep.
Um,
I agree.
I mean, their offense that they run is just so hard to stop. They
Yep.
can do literally anything, except for, maybe pass half the time, but it's a different discussion. But I have the Ravens winning 27-20.
Speaking of the Ravens, did you
27-20?
guys hear about
Yes.
did you guys hear about Lamar waiting to get his deal until next
Yes,
offseason?
that's very interesting.
I think
You
it is
think they're
too,
gonna
man.
tag him, or do you think they're gonna
I don't know what they'll
let him
do.
be a
I think
free
it's a
agent?
mistake. I think like you're Lamar Jackson. While I do think Lamar Jackson is a little overrated, I
Mhm.
think that he deserves a contract and he deserves. If I'm the Ravens, I don't want to let go of him. Like he's good enough to be on that franchise quarterback. Like
Oh, for sure.
yeah, like get that man a deal.
And I mean, they're gonna be negotiating all throughout the season. And
Um,
trying to find a compromise. If I had to guess, Lamar wanted too much money than the
Mhm.
Ravens were willing to give him. So we'll see how the season goes for him. But we could see Lamar in a New Jersey this offseason, and that would be wild.
Crazy. Yep. Next game, Chiefs Cardinals. Let's go, baby. You already know we're going with the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to be close. I think this offense is going to be better than it was with Tyreek. Now that we can spread the ball out, we have a lot more threats equally. Kane, your Discord page is up.
Yep.
Anyway,
I think we will go more into depth a little later on the
Yeah, we're
Chiefs.
gonna go much more into depth on this game, so let's just say
yeah. So
Chiefs,
let's
Chiefs,
wait
But
for
Chiefs, and
that.
move
Yeah.
on.
we will all say
I
Chiefs.
mean, is anybody not taking the Chiefs? Because
I'm
if
sure
so,
there's
you're
people
kicked
out
off the
there.
podcast.
I do need a score from all of you though. I will say
We'll
Chiefs.
get to the score later.
Hey, well, we'll just leave that all with me. Continue. Next
Green
game.
Bay Vikings. Next game. I think that everyone's Aaron Rodgers has no weapons, blah blah. It's Aaron Rodgers, dude. It's Aaron Rodgers. You have
That is a
Aaron
great
Jones,
point.
AJ Dillon, and
More
they
importantly,
got
the Vikings.
yeah. I mean, not to mention that it might be a shootout with Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins being the best average quarterback there is, but I think that Green Bay takes cake on this one, and I think they're gonna win.
I disagree with Noah's statement that the Vikings are some easy opponent. I think that they're going to be a very solid team this year, potentially a wild card team. They have Kirk Cousins, who, in my opinion, is very underrated. They have obviously Jay Jettas, and they had a very much improved defense this year. It's going to be much better than it was last year. And for those reasons, I'm taking the Vikings 35 to 20 or to 31, 35 to 31.
Let me just
Vikings,
say
Vikings 35 to
Packers
21 game.
Packers 24 to 14.
Eamon, you said Packers win?
24-14. Yep. Alan Lazard is out the first week with an ankle sprain, so that'll be interesting.
I tend to agree with Eamon. I think it'll be a higher scoring game than Eamon. I have the Packers winning 28 to 17. I think, let me just be honest here. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan at all. I think he is not a good quarterback whatsoever. Hammond, I think, said it nicely by saying he's the best average quarterback in the league. I have no faith in Kirk Cousins at all, and while I do think the Vikings scored points in this game, obviously with 17 points, Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones are going to be too much. 28-17 Packers.
Okay.
Next game,
Bucks Cowboys, right?
no, that's Sunday Night Football. That's
Oh,
second
is it?
best.
Okay.
We went sort of out of order here, but Saints Falcons. Saints at Falcons.
Um, I'm gonna say it, man. I think the Saints are gonna be really good this year. I think Jameis Winston is going to light it up. I think he's a dark horse. I think he's got a lot to prove. I think I think he is going to be amazing. And I think with the addition of Michael Thomas back, if he can stay healthy, that would be really good for them. Chris Olave, obviously. Alvin Kamara, that offense I think will be really dangerous, and their defense has always been pretty good. I'm gonna say Saints. Let's go 27 to 21.
I personally don't think the Saints will be great. I feel like this is sort of a not a rebuilding year, but I just think they're going to be kind of mediocre this year, middle of the pack team. Barely missed the playoffs for me. So, but I do think they're much better than the Falcons. The Falcons, in my opinion, are one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst. So I have the Saints probably 28 to 3. 28 to 3 for the
Real
Falcons.
quickly before you talk, no, I just want to say I totally disagree that they're one of the worst teams. I think the addition of Desmond Ritter, from seeing what he's been doing, Him, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, all of them. I think they're gonna be not good, but I think they'll be mediocre.
Their defense has nothing though besides AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell. Yeah.
Question, Cameron. What
Yep.
was the final score that you said?
I said 27-21.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
Saints. Yeah.
I have another 11-point victory. I have a 28-17 win for the Saints. I kind of like, Kirk Cousins. I'm not a James fan, personally. I like him a little more than Kirk Cousins, I suppose. But I think there could be upgrades made at quarterback for the Saints. However, let's be real. We are talking about the Falcons here. Their defense outside of AJ Terrell, as we know it, is, well, does anybody know anybody else on their team defensively? I don't think so.
Boyad Asuikan or something like that.
Offensively,
Oh boy, the Patriots are coming up, Rosebud says.
obviously, their offense does have some weapons. Cordell Patterson at running back. Desmond Ritter, I think, is going to be decent in his career. I don't think they have the coaching right now to show that right away. I think it'll be a very slow start for Desmond in that offense, although they do have offensive weapons. So
Sorry.
I have a 28-10 win. I read my score wrong earlier. 28-10 win for the Saints.
Alright, next game. 49ers Bears. I'm going to make this one quick and easy. I'm excited for Justin Fields. I think he can do big things this year, but not enough things to beat the San Francisco 49ers. I have the 49ers winning 24-10.
He made a good point. He said it good. Justin Fields, he's gonna be better than last year. He doesn't have the weapons though. I think Darnell Mooney I think that's like his wide receiver one. I don't see it happening, man.
And he's going to have like a second to get the ball off with his own line.
Yeah, you have Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Trey Lance coming at you. Nah, man, I don't think it's happening. I gotta go San Francisco. I'm gonna go 28-7.
27 49ers win for Cameron. Kane, just making sure I had this down correctly. You said Bears 24-10?
No.
Oh.
49ers.
49ers 24-10. Or 28-10, right?
24.
24. Okay. I'm in shambles. It's okay.
Getting your scores mixed up.
We will survive. I agree with most of you that I guess all of you, that, the 49ers will win. I think it will be a tad closer. I think, that Justin Fields will take a step up this year. They do have some offensive weapons, and their defense is, I feel like the Bears have always had a solid defense. So I think the 49ers win, it'll be closer than, the other two scores. I have it a 24-17 ball game.
Alright,
Fair
next
enough.
up, we have Eagles versus Lions. At Lions, I should say. I think both of these teams will be greatly improved than they were last year. Maybe not greatly, but definitely improved. Lions are another team similar to the Jets that had a great draft and I think within a few years can be a playoff team. But right now the Eagles are a playoff team in my opinion, and they're going to take this one 17-7.
Smart man right there. I completely agree. The Eagles, AJ Brown, and they got rid of Jalen Rager, which I think might not help, but he definitely wasn't doing anything for that team. Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. People will be sleeping on Jalen Hurts, man. He is good, and he's going to get better. And I know what we saw in the playoffs last year from him wasn't impressive at all, but you got to remember, all he had was basically Devontae Smith, and with Jordan Davis on that defense, I think it's going to be a massacre on that line. Um, I'm excited, man. I think the Eagles are a playoff team. I think they're going to win their division this year. The Lions, I think they'll be greatly improved, like Kane said. They have a lot of heart in that team. I love their coach, but I'm going to have to give this one to the Eagles and go 24-10.
I agree with you two completely. I won't spend the time reiterating what you two just said. I also have a 24-10 ball game for the Eagles.
Okay. Up
All right.
next.
Patriots at Dolphins. Gonna be a very
Want me
solid
to
game.
start us off? Dolphins. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you need.
Dolphins are winning 17-14.
Look, no disrespect to the New England Patriots, but the Dolphins have the most disrespected man in KC, apparently. The most accurate quarterback of all time, Tua
Apparently.
Tagovailoa, apparently.
To turn the
And
ball
a
over.
very solid defense. And I think the Patriots are just kind of mid, to be honest. I think their defense is good. Their defense is always going to be good under Bill Belichick. But offensively, I just don't think they have any real weapons. I mean, Mac Jones is okay. To me, he's the definition of the most average quarterback in the league. But their wide receivers are mid, and they don't really have much wide receiver depth. So
Hey, if the
I have
Patriots can't, go
I have
ahead.
the Dolphins winning 28-10.
If the Patriots can't beat the Dolphins with Tom Brady while the Dolphins are poverty, then they're not gonna beat them when they're decent and don't have Tom Brady.
28-17, Noah, actually.
17. Got it.
And I disagree with the Mac Jones statement. I think he's a pretty good quarterback.
Hammond,
But
what was your final
yep,
score, sorry?
my final score was 17-14 Dolphins.
I agree with Hammond. I do think Matt Jones is a pretty good quarterback. By no means am I saying he's in that top tier, but I think he is, at the upper edge of that second tier. If that makes any sense at all, I know I said it terribly. Um, I agree with saying that Belichick, you always have to account for Belichick. It seems like Belichick always finds a way. Somehow, some way. I think that, the defense, personally for me, the defense on its own cancels each other out between the Dolphins and the, Patriots. I think they're equivalent, not taking into account the coaching, but from Belichick, obviously, he is a defensive coach. So that changes things a little bit in favor of the Patriots. But I do think that, the Patriots outside of Matt Jones don't have any offensive weapons, and that revamped, Dolphins offense is going to be too
Hey
strong.
Andy, I'm not trying to throw shade at the Patriots, but I'm trying to throw shade at the Patriots.
Overall, all in all, I had the Dolphins winning by a final score of 24-14.
I like it.
All right. We
Next game.
have Jacksonville at Washington. I think this is going to be an incredibly boring game to watch. Very low scoring. Just two bad teams. I mean, I think Washington's mediocre, but I have Washington winning 13-3.
Okay. No.
I have the Commanders winning by a final
The
score
commies.
of 17-14. I think that despite um all the Commanders hate, I think they have a solid defense. Um, Obviously the front man of that would be Chase Young. Excuse me. I like Scary Terry offensively with Carson Wentz. I don't think he's the best quarterback, but I think he is a when healthy, he is a decent quarterback. Oh no, that's when healthy. So who knows how long that'll be. But all in all, I think Commanders take it 17-14. Possibly a less than field goal.
I'm gonna have to go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say the Jaguars, and it won't be particularly close. I think Carson
Ow.
Wentz is not a good quarterback. I do not. I think he is most definitely worse than Kirk Cousins. I do not think he's a good quarterback. He just does not get the job done. I do not like that whole quarterback situation. You have Scary Terry, who's just getting his career wasted there. I mean, they can't find a quarterback that can get the ball to him.
Trade him to the
Um,
Chiefs.
please. But I will say that I do like their defense, and I agree their defense is good. The only problem is I think the Jaguars are going to have a good offense now. I think with Travis Etienne, James Robinson splitting those carries, and then you have Christian Kirk with addition to that team now. I think Christian Kirk is gonna show out there. Honestly, I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna improve. He's gonna mature. He's gonna get better. I'm going Jaguars.
Sorry.
This is a tough one, man. Jaguars 21-10.
And you had Commanders 2014?
13-3.
13-3.
Alright, this next game is, in my opinion, going to be the game of the week. Raiders Chargers, both massively improved. The whole AFC West has improved this year, this offseason. It's going to be an incredible game, an incredible division to watch. Who do you got, Cameron?
Um, Chargers Raiders. I think the Chargers are gonna come out and they're gonna be hot. I think the Raiders are going to make it close. I definitely do. But at the end of the day, you have Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. That three is just unstoppable. Let's not mention Mike Williams, who is, in my opinion, incredibly underrated and is a great deep ball threat. Um, I think Justin Herbert's gonna light that defense up. I think Derek Carr is going to have a pretty good game, but I think ultimately in the end, Chargers are going to win this thing. I think it'll be a shootout, but I think Chargers are going to win this thing 31-21. And by the way, um, Sam Webb made that 53 roster, baby.
Team
53
Web Big
man,
6 coming.
Um,
Noah?
Sorry, let me write this down. Ravens at 31,
21.
21 Chargers. Sorry, guys, it's a little difficult when I'm the only one writing scores down. So sorry.
Thank you, Sarah Bell.
Oh my god. Um, I have the Chargers winning 30-24 for all of the reasons that Damon just so eloquently described. Uh, yeah. 30-24, Justin Herbert is the better quarterback of the two. By far, in my opinion, Justin Herbert is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, I don't really not much else to say outside of Justin Herbert.
I'm taking
Alright.
Chargers too. I think it'll be a very good game, but honestly, I think the Chargers are the second best team in the division, and I think the Raiders are the worst. So, I got Chargers winning 34-31. Maybe a last-second field goal. It'll be really close.
Okay.
You
Next
say
game.
Chargers?
Yep,
Next
34-31.
game, Giants Titans. Am I correct?
Mhm.
All right. Um, let's get started. I think we all are going to agree on this one. Well, I do think the Titans will not be nearly, as good as last year. I don't think they'll be a top team. I do think they will still make the playoffs, barely. But I don't think Derrick Henry will be the same at all. I don't think that who are they? Do we know if Malik Willis is going to start for him or not yet, or will it still be Ryan Tannehill?
I
I
don't think
think
we know.
Tannehill.
Well, I don't think Tannehill's the answer, but I I I mean, if you're choosing the Giants, man, I don't know. You're gonna have to convince me, and it's not gonna work. I'm gonna go Titans, 24-7.
Titans 17-3.
Titans 17 to 3 for Kane. And I have the Titans winning 27 to 14. I think Derrick Henry is way too slow.
Right, 2 games left, right?
Yep, last two. Sunday Night Football. Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. Who do you got?
Noah.
I have. Oh boy, I gotta think about this one for a second. I think, um, on paper, Kane, we can totally hear that bad, whatever it is, by the way.
That was me. I was drinking from my water bottle.
No, Kane's eating something, I can hear it.
Oh.
I think on paper, the Cowboys are the way better team here. I think opening night, is it in Tampa? Or is it in...
In Dallas.
Yeah.
That makes it a little easier for the Cowboys. However, it's still top many. I'm excited what Todd Bowles has in store. I think, is it his first or second year at the head coaching job?
First. He was
It's his
defensive
first year.
coordinator last year, if I am correct, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited what he has in store. I think the Bucks win, but again, two very good football teams. I think it is a close game. I think just count many things at the end of the game. I think the Bucks win by a score of 30-27.
I like it.
I think Dallas is in full revenge mode this game. They're mad because of what happened at the end of last year. The Nickelodeon screw job. They're mad because of how they choked this week 1 game last year, this exact game. So I think they're gonna come out. They're gonna beat the Bucks, who I think are the better team, but they're still gonna beat them, 48-41.
Cowboys
That's a high
48-21.
scoring game. This year's our year,
Would you
is
expect
what we
anything else from
hear.
these two teams, Cameron?
I don't know, man. This year is our year, is what we always hear from every Cowboys fan in existence. But I hate to say it, but it's not your year. The Bucks are gonna come out. They have Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette,
Dog.
and yeah, this game is not going to be close. It's not going to be what you expect. The Bucks are going to win this game 34-17.
If you're ever curious on the influence Tom Brady has, just look at the free agency acquisitions. The Bucks were getting no one, and then as soon as Tom Brady announces he's unretiring, everybody starts signing to the Bucks. They signed like 5
Julio Jones,
people within a week.
and from what I've heard, Julio Jones is back to his normal self.
Of
We'll see
course
how
he
true
is.
that is. But I don't think the Cowboys have the wide receiver core. I mean, I know they have a lot of receivers, but not a lot of good ones. They have CeeDee Lamb, um, Michael Gallup. I don't think James Washington will do anything. Michael Gallup is kind of just a gritty kind of. I wouldn't say he's above average. I'd say he's average, but I don't think that the Cowboys are going to show out in this game. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll make a good run, but I don't think they'll win.
What do you think the final score is?
What did I say? 31 to 17,
31-17 in favor of
I
the
think, is what I
in
said.
favor
Yeah,
of who?
the Bucks.
Of the Bucks.
Bucks.
Cool. Final
Alright,
game of the day, Monday Night Football. Who do we got?
Kane.
we have Seahawks versus the Broncos.
This is going to be a phenomenal game, not in the sense of a competitive football game, but just Russell Wilson, everything he's meant to Seattle in the last however many years he's been there. He's making his return week 1 to Seattle in orange. I think obviously it pains me to say it, but the Seahawks have no real quarterback. Unfortunately, Drew Lock by Mizzou. My Mizzou quarterback is not good at all. Russell Wilson is going to take Denver into Seattle and won the last game in Seattle by a final score of 30-15.
Okay. I do not think it'll be the last game he wins in Seattle, but I will say
Well, I don't.
Russell Wilson's.
Sorry to
Do
cut you
what?
off. Sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
I said that because I don't know when they'll be playing in Seattle again.
I got you. I don't I don't think Seattle's gonna do much. I think they can. I mean, Geno Smith's their starting quarterback right now. I think they can have the possibility of being mediocre. I think they'll be better than people think they will be. I'll say that. But I think DK Metcalf, he's gonna be the main target of that team, and fantasy owners, including me, he's not going to do as much as he's done previous years, but I think he'll still be a really good flex role, in my opinion. But I think Rashad Penny's going to be good, but I think um, everything from that team is just not giving off good vibes. All we're going to do is, or sorry, all that's going to happen is the Broncos are going to go in there and steamroll them. I'm going to say it's going to be 34 to, we'll go 14 Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos are gonna steamroll them. Broncos country. Let's ride. 35-10.
All right.
And
Let's see.
I do want to address a comment in the chat. Rosebud asked, "What is normal?" But I forgot the context of that question. If you wanted to clarify what you mean by that question, we will answer it for you.
On to our next topic. Let's see.
Yep. We're done with all these
Um,
games. I can stop sharing my screen.
Is
Bye.
the Case podcast
unless
going to talk about the case finally?
the depth chart.
We might be. You want to do preseason or depth chart first?
No, I don't
Let's do
care.
preseason.
Oh, Julio Jones. What is normal for Julio Jones?
Oh, in his prime,
His
he was one of the
Atlanta.
best
Yeah.
wide receivers in
I'd
NFL
say
history.
Yeah.
he's probably. I would like to say maybe the third best receiver in NFL history in his prime. But like last year on the Titans,
If
that is
he
not
was
his
He
going,
was
normal.
if
terrible.
he was going to continue, but obviously he did not continue that pace.
Yeah.
I forgot. Did he have like a injury or
I think he
something?
had an injury for a couple weeks last year.
So
Yeah.
nothing like an ACL tear, and he never
No,
came back the
no,
same.
he was not out for the rest of the
So
year. Couple weeks.
I think he had a couple shoulder injuries. I think that's what it was.
All right, on to the preseason.
All right.
The preseason.
Any? We're gonna make this
Okay.
segment pretty quick. I'm not really gonna go over the games that much because, to be honest, I didn't really pay much attention to them. I watched them, but like not, not
Mm-hmm.
full attention. But who were some preseason standouts for you guys? Guys that you think might make a big difference on the team that you wouldn't expect before the preseason, or
Immediately,
stuff
what
like that.
comes to mind for me, Isaiah Pacheco, and I know that's a pretty popular take from a Chiefs fan, but he's gonna light it up. By the end of the year, he's gonna be a running back one. He looked great out there. He's gritty. He's got the speed. I think he's gonna be amazing.
I
Huh?
you would have thought that if you are one to pay attention to wins and losses in preseason, that means you are a Ravens fan. Anywho, preseason standouts. I think um excuse me. I think that Aaron mentioned Isaiah Pacheco. I'm gonna mention George Karlaftis. I think that he immediately came in and made a difference.
The
Was
We'll
it
talk more about this when we get to the depth chart, but I think it's a shame that he's not a starter.
in I agree. What was it, the first game he came in and got a sack?
I believe he had 2 sacks in 3
I think he
preseason
had,
games. I think one in each
yeah.
of the first 2.
Yeah,
He
Something like
might
that.
not have had on the Packers game, but he definitely had some pressure.
for looking at is
Yeah,
phenomenal.
he definitely had at least 2 because I remember one in the first game and one in one of the
Yeah.
other games.
That is very, very impressive from George Karlaftis.
For
Indeed.
me, my pick is Justin Watson.
I
Tall
was
body,
gonna say that.
had a great game against the Chicago Bears. The first half performance he put on was phenomenal. Caught a touchdown.
He had a great performance the second game too.
hmm He really just in general had a good preseason. I think he could be like a good backup wide receiver, like a Byron Pringle maybe. He doesn't come out very often, but when he does, he makes the play.
May
I can
I
definitely see that.
may I submit a honorary mention?
Sure.
Yep.
I would like to give Justin Reed his flowers for winning the
He
backup
did have a.
kicking job.
Yep.
That's just yeah.
He had a
Anywho,
great preseason.
He, I mean, he
Really, our defense in general looked really good in the preseason, I think. Whether it stays that way during the regular season, we'll have to find out. I think it'll at least be better than it has been the previous years, but still don't know if it'll be great.
a few more mentions from me. Like I'm gonna make it fast, but Jody Fortson had
yes, I was going to
a
mention that.
really good preseason.
He's always been good.
He
Whenever
has, but
he's
he
not
got
hurt,
hurt, so
yeah.
I
Last
think
year
he stays
in the
healthy.
few
He'll
games he
be
played,
very dangerous.
last year in the few games he played before he got hurt, he looked phenomenal for us.
Yeah.
Made constant plays.
Another I have. I mean, you have Dion Bush. He looked like he's a hard hitter. He's ready to play on this team. You have who else? Jalen Watson, the cornerback. He looked pretty good. He looked like he is a pretty good defender, and I'm excited to see him lock some people up. Leo Chenal, I I love him. I'm excited for him to get in the more and more. I would not run at that man for $1 million with that death row written on his arm that he always writes. Um, and finally, to add on to what you guys said really quick about the whole George Karlaftis getting screwed, I kind of agree, but Mike Dana was amazing this preseason. He in training camp was amazing. This preseason he was amazing. I'm excited for him too. I think he's going to be an underdog.
Yeah, he was pretty good for us last year too.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look look at the depth chart. Yeah,
Do it.
I'll put it on my screen for you guys to see. So immediately, one of the standouts for me is the running back core. We're keeping 4 running backs, which I love because we are a very running back by committee team. We don't have a designated, running back, even though it says Clyde is the first string. We're going to be using Isaac Pacheco and Jarek McKinnon a lot
Isaiah
too.
Pacheco, sure.
Did I say Isaac?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
My bad. Isaiah Pacheco and Jarek McKinnon a lot. I think Ronald Jones is going to come in a good bit too and play a important role, especially on like third and shorts. I think he can be the big body back we use.
Yeah, Ronald Jones didn't look too impressive to me this preseason, honestly, and everyone was hyped over him. But I'm not trying to say like I was right or anything, but I people were acting like he was going to be the RB1 whenever we signed him. I was like, I didn't personally think he was going to be amazing, but we'll see.
I personally expected him to do much better than he has been doing because, especially the year they won the Super Bowl, he was really good on the Bucs, a really important player for them. He had a pretty solid game in the Super Bowl against us, so I was hopeful that we were going to get more of the same, but has not turned out so far in training camp. He had a pretty average training camp.
What's interesting to me is Jody Fortson being our third string tight end.
Well,
Let's see. What else? Um, Carlos Dunlap, I think he can really make a difference. Kind of like Melvin Ingram did. I think he can bring a lot of energy to this team with his big body and tall frame. Um, I'm excited for this O line. I think they're going to be amazing. Um, I mean, yeah, man, I'm excited.
The O line is going to be really good. The one big concern I have about the O line is that we only have one backup for the interior, and that's Nick Allegretti.
Hmm.
If he goes down, then we're screwed.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I would like to see us in the future add depth for. Call some kids up, maybe get rid of Ronald Jones for an extra interior alignment, something like that.
Hmm.
Because especially with our history, I feel like we have a big history of O lineman energies or injuries, and it just screams bad news for us personally.
I
Uh,
yeah, I kind of want to lean into the 2022-2023 season preview. I
well,
Okay.
let's look at the defensive side of the ball first, real quick, before we head into that. Um, George Karlaftis as a backup. I don't love that, but Mike Dana is going to be really good, and I'm sure George Karlaftis will still come in at quite a bit of sets. Obviously we have Chris Jones starting. I
Trent
love
McDuffie
that.
starting over Rashad Fenton. I'm excited. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I love
interesting to
that.
me.
Lots of rookies on this defense for us. We have Leo Chanel and Trent McDuffie both starting. We also have quite a bit as backups too, as second stringers. So,
Yeah, I'm excited for Chris Lamons. He looked really good this preseason.
well, yeah, a lot of new faces for the defense, and I'm really excited to see where that takes us.
Yeah.
And then Isaiah Pacheco as kick returner and Nicole Hardman as punt returner. Love that. I would have probably preferred like Sky Moore over Nicole Hardman as punt returner, but it is what it is. I think he'll still be pretty good.
I agree with that. Um, I think Sam was quicker, obviously. Um, and also was that hit returner? Okay, and then
Isaiah Pacheco.
punt returner is Nicole Hartman. I also would like to see some more being a punt returner just because that Nicole Hartman is the um starting wide receiver for us now. I don't want to have to risk having our starting wide receiver out the first play or two of the drive after a punt. I don't really like that idea, but that's just me. As you guys mentioned earlier, a lot of rookies on the defense. I am really excited. I think Eric Karlaftis should be starting over Mike Dana in a couple weeks. I'd say by week 3 or 4, you will see Eric Karlaftis take over that starting spot.
I agree, yeah.
I also think that this is not a rookie, but I'm looking at with Aaron Smith and Juan Thornhill, and Justin Reed for that matter. Justin Reed is new to the team, but um, they've been here for a while in the league. They kind of know what's going on, and even a guy like Nick Bolton, he's only a second year guy this year, but he knows what it takes to win at a high level, and I think those 3 or 4 guys will be crucial to keeping this defense together and helping them succeed with this many defenses on the roster.
Really quickly to add on to that, I think one of the key things to keeping this defense together will be Willie Gay. They gave him the nickname the Juice Man because he provides all the energy to that defense, and I think he's going to show out this year.
Oh, it would be great if people would stop walking in the middle of their podcast. um, I'm gonna be honest, I completely did not understand what you just said. I was distracted, but
He said
It's
Willie
okay.
Gay is going to be good, pretty much.
yes, I also agree with that. Willie A. I'm sorry. Willie A. Yes. I forgot to mention him in that last statement I just said, but I guess that would make it 5 guys that are that have been in the league. Also, Chris Jones. These guys know what it takes to win, and um, they're going to be vital in keeping the rookies in line.
All right,
All right, let's.
I like it. We thinking on to the breakdown of this week's game.
So before that, I want to do one more thing and then break down, and then we'll close it out. Okay.
Yep.
So I have a question for you guys. Who is your underrated player to watch for the year?
Ooh, that's a good point.
He doesn't have to be super underrated. You just can't say a guy like Travis Kelce, or, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the easy way out, and I'm going to say Nicole Hartman. I think, I don't think it's any surprise to East fans, but I think the national media and the national football, fan base is not high on Nicole at all. They're not expecting him to have a good year, and really, I should really say the wide receiver room as a whole. Because everybody's freaking out because Tyreek left, but they don't realize that the entire wide receiver room improved significantly.
Mhm. Instead
And
of having one elite guy, we have
It's
multiple
much
very
more
good
balanced.
guys. Yeah.
and I truly do think Nicole Hartman can become that elite guy that
Mhm.
Tyreek was, especially, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is one of the few quarterbacks that make everybody better. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, they all have one thing in common, and it's that they make everybody around them better. and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by what Nicole Hartman is this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. My player to watch for is Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I think he's a phenomenal pickup
Pull it
for
right
us
out my
this year.
mouth.
I think he's going to be Mahomes' guy for the deep balls. He is a big body. He's fast. Ran a 4.37 40 time, I believe, which is crazy for somebody that's 6'4". I think he's going to be just very good for us. I've always been high on him. I've always thought he's been underrated. But because he's played with Devontae Adams his entire career, he hasn't really gotten the spotlight he deserves. So I think this year could be a chance to prove to the world how good he really can be. And I think he's going to be a huge asset for the Chiefs this season.
I like that. Now, all right, here we go. So for me, I'm going to say Juju, and while he's not significantly underrated, I would say people underestimate how much he can impact us. Not can he just I mean, we've seen this whole training camp preseason. Well, not preseason because he hasn't played; he's been hurt. But we've seen this training camp that he he has made some really good catches. He's torched some defenders. Not only will he make some great catches and go for a lot of touchdowns, I think he will get a lot of people open and he'll be doing the dirty work basically
And
and won't get recognized for it.
Han and I were having a discussion the other night, and actually this is what kind of triggered this whole podcast. Han and I sat there and talked an hour worth of Chiefs football, and we were like, we should make a podcast. So here we are. I think Juju is going to be that third down guy. You need it's 3rd and 5, 2-minute warnings coming up. You need a first down to win the game. You're going to Travis, or you're going to Juju. And I think Juju is that big body that you need, especially with, I mean, in that scenario, unless you are not smart at all, you are double covering Travis Kelce. You are not letting him catch the ball at all if you can control it whatsoever. Juju has to be that second guy, that second big body that Mahomes can go to like, I can trust you to make the catch while being hit by 2 different people at the same time and hold on to the football for that first down.
I agree.
All
Alright,
right, a week 1 preview time.
breakdown. This won't be too long. And then we'll wrap it up after this. So the Cardinals breakdown. Arizona's run defense.
Real quick, before we start this, if anybody has any questions that they want us to answer
Yes.
before we wrap it up, now is the time to ask them in chat.
Yes.
All right.
Week 1, Cardinals
Arizona's
versus
run defense.
Chiefs.
So
Not
last year, Arizona's run defense gave up 4.6 yards per carry last year, which is clearly not good. And that addition of Chandler Jones leaving is not going to help. So I think that if we can establish the running game going, like we did in the AFC Championship game last year, sad, and actually stick with it, I think it's going to be a huge difference with the defenders having to cover the run, stop the run, and cover the ball in the air. So we'll
I
see.
agree. That loss of Chandler Jones is going to be huge in the pass rush game too, because it's going to give Mahomes much more time to work with. He's going to be much more comfortable, I think. And so yeah, they're going to give us the run game. We need to take it because their pass game is pretty strong. Last year they were 9th in the league. Only gave up around 200 yards per game, which is pretty good in today's day and age. Obviously, in today's game, passing is a lot more frequent than running. So Andy Reid has to be smart about how we play or call the plays and take the run if we need it.
I will say that Andy Reid has to be willing to run the football in this game for the reason
Yep.
that you just mentioned. In the past, he's been stubborn. He's been like, I have Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't matter who's playing defense, what they're doing. We're passing the ball and everything will be okay. He has to do what he did 2 seasons ago now in Buffalo. Everybody was expecting it to be the game of the year and all this stuff, and understandably so. But the Chiefs went into Buffalo and they ran all over the Bills. And that was really the only time that I really thought that Andy Reid was willing to make a conservative effort
Game decision and trying to
to run the
establish that run
football.
game. Yep.
And that needs to happen more, not just for this game, not just
The
because
whole year.
the Cardinals' run defense is not what very good numbers wise, but that opens up the passing game, even against teams that aren't going to use the run. You have to be
I
able
mean,
to run the football.
you think if we can run that football, that play action is going to be dangerous. I'll just say that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to answer some questions in the chat, Andy, can we expect big things from this Mahomes kid this year? I'm not sure about that. He's
He's a bust.
I don't think he's very good.
I think we see Carrot Henny in week 3.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
What are your Sarah Bell? What are your thoughts on Clyde this year? See, I was actually gonna say that. I was debating between Juju and him for my kind of like underrated breakout player. I really think that he can make a difference this year. He's more of that passing back. He's kind of like he's a really good like screen back. I think that Clyde can really break through this year.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think he has the potential to break through this year, but I don't know if he will. I think eventually
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco is going to get that lead
I agree.
running back spot, and I think he's going to be the one that takes over.
All right, back to
Oh,
our pregame
on
breakdown.
on the defensive side of the ball, we need to get the pass rush going.
I
The
agree.
Cardinals O line is mediocre at best. They're not great. They're not terrible, but our entire defense is based on this pass rush. We're never going to be a team that constantly clamps, their wide receivers.
If we can
That's
get
just
pressure on that team.
that's just not us. But for us
But
to succeed,
we can
especially,
be if we get pressure. I mean,
yeah,
if we get pressure on him, he's not going to have time to throw that ball.
yeah, that's my point. Like,
Mhm.
especially in a spag scheme, we blitz a lot, and we're gonna need our new people on our D line to be able to get through and get pressure on Kyler.
And
Because historically, Kyler has not been good under pressure at all.
I just want to clarify for Andy that I agree. If the Chiefs are running all over you, they have made a mistake. But the
Yeah.
point is, the Chiefs have to at least attempt to, quote, run all over you. Because that opens up so many other things.
Uh-huh.
You can't just let that pass every single snap. You have to show at the very least the willingness to run the football. Or else you're just gonna drop 8 or 9 days, you know, in coverage every snap, and it's just gonna make it a lot harder.
Yep.
9 means might be on the money. 7 or 8, I should
Adding
say.
adding to the defense, I really think that the Cardinals wide receiver core is going to struggle at least the first few games with the suspension of DeAndre Hopkins, the loss of Christian Kirk, and not to mention we just got word that Rondell Moore is now injured with, I believe, a hamstring, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but I think that this is going to be great for the defense, and if we
We
can get
have
some
to take
pressure
advantage
here,
of that.
we have to. If we can get some
The-
pressure here, then it's going to be over fast.
They have Hollywood Brown, but that's it. They don't have a lot of depth in their wide receiver
Mhm.
core.
Noah, thoughts?
Overall, I mean, it should be a pretty easy victory for the Chiefs.
I
I
agree.
don't see it would take a pretty epic meltdown, which has happened in Chiefs history more than
It
once.
has, yeah.
But it would take a pretty epic meltdown for the Chiefs to not come away with a W.
Score prediction?
We are in sport
Um,
predictions. Oh,
not for this game.
I am going to say 40-15 Chiefs.
Jesus. Okay.
Interesting.
So I think the Chiefs are going to be clearly the better team. I think the Cardinals are going to be mediocre this year.
Well, it's not Andy. We were doing that last one.
Yeah. I think the Cardinals are going to be average this year, but I think the Chiefs are going to do that Chiefs thing that they always do every single week, every single game, and they're going to make it a lot closer of a game than it should have been. So I see us only winning by 7, 41 to 33 or
Okay,
34.
I'm going to have to go 37 to 21 Chiefs. Just gonna leave it at that.
Oh yeah, Zach Ertz is also going to be a slight problem. He hasn't been as good though lately as has been in his prime.
He had
so.
some good games last year, but he was very inconsistent.
And read me your score in, please.
Read what?
Your final
Your
score
score.
in.
I said 41 to 34.
And Aaron?
I said 37 to 21.
37-21. Got it. Chiefs. 37-21. Got it.
Excuse me.
Cool.
Other things to note about the Chiefs. Rookie offensive lineman Darian Kennard was added to the injury list with an elbow injury, but was a full participant in today's practice. Frank Clark was out with an illness and did not practice Thursday, but we have got word that Frank Clark has tested positive for COVID for the first time after the last preseason game and is questionable for Week 1 against the Cardinals.
Yeah,
But
so Frank Clark has, he's not positive anymore.
yeah.
He's in the process of recovering, but he still is sort of dehydrated and out of breath. So it
Mhm.
is likely that he'll play, but it's not 100% since he
Even
was
if he
off
plays, it
on
may be
Thursday.
limited snaps.
And honestly,
And
I
that
know what's
could
coming right now.
I want him to be active, but I hope we don't need to play him that often.
Here's the thing. I think Frank Clark, I should have mentioned this earlier, I think he's going to have a breakout year. He's looked amazing. He's matured. He's lost weight. And he's faster. He looks better. I think he's going to have another Super Bowl year with us that he had that year. Personally.
Yeah, I agree with that. But if he is out, that could open up some space for George Karlaftis to play
Yep.
Sunday, and he could maybe have a breakthrough game and work his way up through the depth chart and maybe replace one of the other. Yeah, Mike Dana. But we'll see.
All right.
With
Well,
that said, I think it's time to officially
bring up our final point.
make
Hold
out.
on.
Okay.
Yep. Record predictions.
That's what I was gonna say.
Is that what you're gonna say?
That is
Okay.
what I was
I
gonna
thought
say.
you were about to end. I thought you were about to end it.
All right,
No.
let me pull up.
We gotta make our predictions for the 2022 2023 season. Heyman cut me off for no reason at all.
Sorry about
But
that.
that's okay.
um,
I will start.
all right, let me get this picture pulled up. For
I
you.
don't. personally, this is up to you guys. I don't think we need to go week by week. I think it
Okay.
should just be good enough. I mean, we'll go week by week each week on the podcast.
Mhm.
So I think we should just, just go on
Record.
record and how in the playoffs if we have them in the playoffs, you know.
Kane, would you like to start us off?
Yeah. I think we're winning the Super Bowl, obviously. I
I mean, it's not really
I'm
what we
gonna
think
sound
then.
like a broken clock because I'm gonna say this so many times throughout the year. You're gonna hate me for it, but I think the wide receiver core is better off now than it was last year. I think we're gonna score more points. Our offense is gonna be more efficient. Forcing Mahomes to spread the ball out is gonna make him a better quarterback. I think. How deep will they? Okay, sorry. I got distracted by Andy. I think we're just going to be better offensively, and our defense is also improved over the offseason. So everybody's saying that we're going to be a lot worse than last year, and some people are saying that we're going to, like, a first round exit. I think we're going all the way. I think we're going all the way in. Super Bowl champs with a record of 13 and 4.
Would it be 13 and 4?
Yeah.
Or 13 and 3? 13 and 4?
4.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe 13 and or
I
12
like
and
what you
5.
said. I think that it's going to be a very good season for us. I can totally see us winning it all. Um, I'm just going to make the prediction now, right here. The Chiefs are going to go 14-3 with a loss to the Chargers, the 49ers, and the Bills. I'm going to say that in the Super Bowl, we are going to face, you ready for this? The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh. It really is a shame that we can't face the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl because they are so
Yeah.
obviously the second best team in the league
Mhm.
besides us, obviously.
Hey,
They
hey,
are so good. Yep.
one question. What seed in the playoffs do you think will it?
2.
Got it.
Bills 1.
And you have us losing, or
No, we're winning the Super Bowl.
winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Over here.
Come back to me.
Come back to you. Got it. I'm gonna put
And not the
Cowboys
Rams, that's for sure.
in. Eamon, you say, I'm writing this down, sorry. You say a record of what?
I said 14-3.
Regular season 14 and 3. What seed in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, I'm gonna say 3. Actually, no, sorry, 2.
You think the 14 and 3 team is getting the 2 seed? Okay.
The Bills might not lose, I'm gonna be
I
honest.
think the Bills, yeah,
And you have us
winning it all.
winning
I have the Bills
Super
playing a
Bowl
sloppy game and being a first round exit.
over the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Hey, Kane, do you have a team yet? Or you still need time to think?
I still need time to think. I wasn't even really thinking about it, to be honest.
Hey, think
No,
about
your
it.
turn.
Think about it while I talk. I think we finished the regular season 13 and 4. We own the number 1 seed in the AFC. We win our way to, what would it be, a 6th straight, that doesn't sound right, AFC championship game? However many in a row it is. Unfortunately, this time, the Bills do indeed get past the Chiefs when it matters. Josh Allen does
Oh,
redeem
you
himself.
suck.
He unfortunately makes his way and wins the Bills' first Super Bowl since in their history.
Since ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just so you guys know, I'm gonna
This
put
is-
it out there.
This is what I
Expect.
think. This is not what I want, obviously. but on this show we try and be as real as we can. This is our expectation, unbiasedly or as unbiased as we can get. So obviously I want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. But unfortunately I have the Bills winning the Super Bowl over the Rams. Why not?
Oh,
Why not?
interesting.
I couldn't think of a team, so I just said the Rams.
Okay. I'm just gonna put it out there, Noah. We will lose one game, and he'll say we're not gonna make the playoffs.
Blow it up.
So
The season's over.
I'm just
I
gonna
am-
say that you will hear a lot of negativity, possibly, from Noah. So get ready for that.
I am mainly very negative in game.
he
That's my
expects he
coping mechanism
expects
for losing.
bad things to happen, so that when good things do happen, it's all a good time.
My coping mechanism for losing is convincing myself that we lost the game at like halftime, so that by the time we actually lose the game, I'm already over it.
Basically, expect disappointment, and you won't be disappointed.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the podcast, I should be over my pessimistic ways, and I should be, pretty decent.
Okay. Any finishing touches?
I just don't need my
Anyone?
Super Bowl team.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
really struggling to think of a team in the NFC that's good. I
Any
mean, I
day
guess
now.
the Bucks, but
Hey, I put the
You
Bucks.
think Tom Brady goes for one more?
one more loss to us, yeah.
I put the Rams, so I mean I can say somebody random. Anywho,
All right. Any finishing thoughts? Anyone?
No, just that I'm happy it's finally Chiefs season. I can't wait, man.
All right. Well, with that said, we will be back next
Next
Thursday
Thursday,
for
probably
another
like 6 or
podcast.
7.
You can go check out the Twitter, the Jet Chip WaspCast, and
the link is
we will
Also,
all of the links are in
update
a
on
link.
there.
All of our links are in a link tree on every platform we have. So,
We'll be on Spotify, iTunes, all
Yep.
the streaming podcast services,
hopefully,
and
we still have to figure that out. It's coming though.
with that being said, we hope you all have a good day. Enjoy your NFL Sunday, and go Chiefs.
go Chiefs. See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for watching, boys.